Okay, and we are live. Hello, friends. Josh, stop that. Hello, friends, and welcome to the Original Gamers Podcast. My name is Obi-Wan Kenobi, or Joel Watt. I'm so used to saying my internet name. That's weird. Anyway, I'm joined, as always, by Nolan Brand. Say hello.
Nolan Brand. Hey, everybody.
Sorry. I misspoke.
Okay.
I
Wait,
apologize.
Hold on.
No worries.
I thought he was a Brown.
I am a Brown.
Yes. I
But not
totally
from Cleveland.
mispronounced his name just now because I'm
It's
a
fine.
professional.
No worries.
Anyway, and joining us today in Patrick's stead is Josh Otte, the Darman. Say hello.
Hello, I'm the Darman.
Yes. So, today we're going to be talking about Portal, but before we get into that, let's see how everyone has been doing. Nolan, how's your week been? Or no, wait, let's start with our guest, Josh.
Oh my gosh, we had Extra Life this weekend, which you both participated in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Starting back in September with the Rareathon.
Yes.
We ended up at, hold on, I'm pulling it up now.
50
We were really close last time.
earlier. Like this afternoon, I was watching Jimmy stream. I checked it. It was 350 back then.
Was it? Yep, 350 total. 350 out of 500, and that is incredible. Again,
70%.
shout outs to any and all of the participating donors. You guys are what made that happen.
Mm-hmm.
But after a long week of work, we had a long weekend of streaming, and then today I went and saw Thor Ragnarok.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great.
Cool.
I had one complaint, and this isn't a spoiler, but I wasn't expecting Guardians of the Galaxy Asgard edition.
Yeah, I heard somebody call it Asgardians of the Galaxy.
That's an accurate statement.
Yeah.
And that's all I'll say about it.
The
Okay.
movie opens with a joke. Like, the first line in the movie is a joke.
Yep. Yep. That threw me off really hard, especially when, like, it's one thing Thor not getting the social cues of the different places, but now he's like a full-blooded, red-blooded American. Like,
Yeah.
all right.
After his multiple trips to Earth, apparently he's like totally embraced the culture and is silly and everything.
I don't know if it has anything to do with, like, I know at the end of Doctor Strange, he was talking to him, so maybe just been hanging out with Stephen
Yeah,
Strange.
they
Maybe that's
totally
what it was.
incorporated that into the story.
That's
He was already being
that's
silly
probably it.
before then.
It's canon.
Yeah, it's canon. It's not just a short stop. Or what do they call those? The
Filler episodes.
No. There's
A one-off?
the tag at the end of the films when they do the setup scene.
Yeah,
There's a
Yeah,
word for those.
yeah. It's not just a gag.
That's gonna bother me. Stinger. That's what it's called. A stinger.
A stinger. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sure. I'm not a film major, but I know a lot of those things. Yes.
Yeah, those stingers. And the stinger for this one was kind of unsettling, but I can't talk about it because it's
Like
still
so
really.
many of them have.
So yeah, that's my weekend, and I'm getting ready to go to bed, wake up at 6 a.m. and repeat another week of work.
Fun.
Yeah. So how are you guys?
Yeah. Nolan, how have you been?
Well, let's see. I mean, this weekend was really cool, but it wrecked my sleep schedule so incredibly much. Like, yeah. So that was rough. And then this morning I was doing tech at church, so I had to be up early anyways. I mean, thankfully there was that extra hour, but I'm like, all day I've just been like on the verge of falling asleep.
Welcome to every Sunday for me.
Yeah.
Whoa, hold up,
Yeah.
Joel. What is that voice? Can you do that
I
again?
leaned into the mic and I just like kind of.
No. You have
I
the
like to-
beautiful radio voice.
see ASMR.
The Original Gamers Podcast.
Okay, so now we need 2 episodes of, hey, welcome, this is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah,
Welcome to Super Mario
you
Odyssey.
are not the first person to tell me that I've got a pretty good radio voice. So
Well, it reminds
which is
me.
why I like to do podcasts.
Yeah.
This brings me back to a flashback. Like 8 months ago, Patty and I sat down for a podcast, and we opened up like this, and we couldn't figure out why we were trying to talk like Delilah. Did that give you shivers right there? Yeah.
Yes, I did not like that at all.
Welcome
Where's
to
my high quality
in the morning.
Ugh.
There's something about this tone.
Yeah, no, please no.
But Joel, it induces just the right reaction.
I'm not enjoying the timber.
I'm sorry. Is this making you uncomfortable?
You can leave now.
Bye. Well, how are you, Joel?
Oh, thank you for asking. So wait, did Nolan ever finish how he was doing?
His sleep schedule was
weekend?
wrecked.
I mean, yeah, I'm just kind of. My sleep schedule got wrecked. I don't know what happened this week.
Yeah, 'cause it's been 2 weeks since we last had a podcast. So, like, what have you been up to?
Well, I mean, the only real thing is like, obviously Halloween happened, right?
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure people saw pictures and I posted already. But at work on Tuesdays we have Science Day, which I kind of am in charge of. And it, happened to be Halloween on Tuesday. So I thought I'd do something interesting. So with my boss's permission, I bought some dry ice and just did some cool stuff with that. Like, dropping it in a bowl with some water and just having it like doing this, which the kids got a kick out of. And then I put, had some dry ice in a cooler and I put some apples underneath it and just let them like be completely frozen, like completely. And then like threw some on the concrete and just shattered like glass, which was pretty cool. I mean, it sounds kind of dumb, but it was really cool to see and they got a kick out of it. And then I was just messing around with that.
That reminds me of going back on YouTube when Slow-Mo Guys was the thing to watch.
Yeah.
Seeing things dipped in like liquid nitrogen or anything like that where you super freeze something and just crunch. Just, you wouldn't think it should crunch like that, but it do.
But it does. So,
and that's why I dry ice, because I couldn't get liquid nitrogen. So,
it's close
surprisingly.
It's poor man's science.
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
It's good.
You still need to be over 21 to get liquid nitrogen, as far as I know, but it's harder to obtain.
And it's incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Like, buying the dry ice that I did was already expensive enough. Like, I bought like $30 worth of dry ice.
That's a lot of dry ice.
It was not as much as I was expecting, though. It was really just like
it's about $1 a pound, isn't it?
Thereabouts. And I didn't realize, like I said, hey, can I get 2 of those bags? And there wasn't much there, so I didn't think it was gonna be much. Then like she's ringing me up and I'm like, oh, well, I'll find a purpose.
Yeah.
So
price of dry ice ranges anywhere from $1 to $3 per pound.
Yeah.
Thanks, Google.
Yeah. It was, I mean, like where I got it was about, I think it was like $1.20 a pound.
Yeah.
So it wasn't terrible. I mean, I got a decent amount, but I still made use of it because I brought it home and used it at home. So
cool. Speaking of Halloween, my fiance actually made her own costume. I'm trying to figure out here. Let's do this one.
Screen share with us.
Yeah. She did this all by hand by herself. I think you should be able to see it.
Talk.
I'm talking. Hello?
She Miss Marvel?
She is Miss Marvel.
Okay.
The Real Con edition.
Cool.
Very cool. Yeah, the picture doesn't show up unless you talk.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta talk to. Well, if whoever's hosting the thing, you can click on each window.
Yeah.
Force it.
Then it doesn't automatically switch anymore.
It does if you unclick them.
Oh, okay. I could never get that to work before, but maybe they fixed it. Anyway.
Google's best engineers are on the case.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was gonna screen share with you my Halloween costume.
Were you Jesus again?
No.
Oh.
No,
I
he was better.
The millennial. So
Yeah.
I'm wearing a romper and I've got a fake vape in my hand and
A fidget spinner.
a fidget spinner and my hair's in a man bun. I actually took off 10 inches so it would stay in the bun. And I'm wearing those old man shoes that hipsters like to wear. They're like made out of tweed or something.
Oh, you didn't wear Tim's? Man.
I don't know. They were $20 Walmart shoes, knockoffs.
Oh, there you go.
Anyway, so that was my Halloween.
Man,
And
the big thing out here in New York is the Tim's, the work boots.
No. I was not
No.
about to spend that much. I ended up spending almost $100 on the costume because the romper was $50 on its own.
And you'll never wear it again.
I'll never wear it again. It was for a joke.
Did it hurt? Did it hurt wearing all that? Could you feel your sexuality shifting?
No.
Oh.
It's a costume.
I don't know. If that were me putting all that together, like, it's bad enough. I do vape. I enjoy my vape. But there's the stigma that comes along with it. And I'm like, definitely want to keep this at home. But then you combine all of that together, I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah. No, it was for that exact reaction to make people go, and then laugh about it.
Well, spot on. You did good.
Actually, what the sound guy, he was there when I changed into costume, and he looked at me kind of confused, and then I held up the fake vape, and he just kind of went, ugh, and he walked away. Like, he just left the room for a second, and then he came back laughing. He was like, that's what really did me in. Like, the romper, I was like, okay, that's funny, but yeah, that's what really did him in. So
Nice.
And he wasn't sure it was real until until I showed him. I was like, oh yeah, it's just a video converter with some extra adapters.
Oh, okay. I was wondering, like, where'd you get a vape?
No. That would have been like $200 or $300 on its own. I was not about to do that. Aren't they like kind of expensive?
What, vapes?
Yeah.
I mean, you can get a basic vape for about, like, a good basic vape for $40. I think that's what I spent on my last one.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to use it for anything other than a costume, so
right.
I'm not about to put that much.
I mean, you can even get, they make like $10 atomizers that are just single use. Once you're done with it, you throw it in the recycling bin because it's all plastic.
Yeah, but I wanted something a little more authentic looking.
Yeah,
but not genuine.
Yeah, honestly, I think vaping is honestly really helpful for a lot of people. There's a lot of research showing that people who vape do get off of cigarettes faster, so long as you can control how much nicotine you add. But thankfully, we know that nicotine by itself is non-carcinogenous, so it's all around a better alternative. So long as you're not stupid making your own custom, playing with electricity when you don't know how the difference between a watt and an ohm. Oh, it'll be so cool. This is going to taste great. As it explodes in your face and you have battery acid everywhere.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah. So that was Halloween on Tuesday.
Nice.
What did I do the week before? I don't remember. Oh yeah. So last weekend, I was working our women's retreat. They wanted me to run tech for that because I guess it didn't go super smoothly last year. So they're like, we want somebody whose job it is to run it. Like, all right, fine. And so that was really boring. And a long, boring weekend. And then Halloween on Tuesday. And then yesterday was the thing, the Extra Life. That was a lot of fun, actually. I really enjoyed that. My time playing Portal, which we're talking about here. The whole reason I picked the game to play in that 4-hour block. Two reasons. One, I needed to play it, and two, it could be beaten in about 4 hours. And I actually made it all the way to outside of Gladys's chamber.
Did you go back and finish it?
I did not. I had time today, and I took a nap.
Why'd you do the wrong thing?
Because I'm old. I wanted to be awake.
It was a lot of fun this weekend though. Like I was just like sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, go ahead.
Like because I played the Doom that came out last year.
Yeah.
For most of it. And I had downloaded and I started playing it right when the streams, like my turn started. And I had like the biggest smile on my face the entire time because I was having so much fun. Just like
I've never seen
kills.
you
like,
so happy.
Dude, it was amazing. And then when it was my turn was done and it was Joel, I kept playing the game while I was in chat. I was just like,
I hopped in Discord, so like everybody could hear him, and he's like the whole time he's just going, "Die, demon, die!"
Like that's not good. I mean, it's probably fine.
Or today I learned Nolan is low-key a sociopath.
You don't even know.
He does play Dark Souls for fun.
Yeah.
That's true. Now all we have to do is spend about $30 and get you a good control deck and magic so you can rip on everybody's day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think he's really just more masochistic than anything.
I don't know. That sounds like he wants to inflict on others. You are my enemy.
Yeah. So I played Portal. I almost beat it. And I had like 2 or 3 minutes left in my block. And I recognized the room. Even though I'd never played the game before, I recognized it. And I was like, I can't finish in 2 minutes. So stream over. I like talked for another minute or two to end it out. But yeah.
Oh, man.
I guess there was one other thing that happened during the stream was I somehow forgot the time slot I was supposed to be streaming to. So about 4 o'clock my time, I thought I was done. I was waiting to hear from Joel. I'm like, well, I guess he's waiting for me, so I'm just gonna end the stream. And 2 minutes later, I realized wait, no, I'm supposed to go for another hour. So then I went back in it. So that was I kind of goofed up on that one, but
yeah,
that's okay. I had a full-blown goof attack playing Dota. I just
did you?
So what you have to know is that I played Dota almost religiously for about 2 years. Between 2012 and 2014, I put in about 1,500 hours into my Dota career. Yeah, over 2 years. That's a lot. I could have gotten my pilot's license.
A lot.
If I had the money. I could have gotten my pilot's license. I could have had a second job. I could have done so many other things. But I was darned and determined to go pro with this game. Unfortunately, nothing ever came of it because I didn't have local support and I didn't have I honestly just did not have the dedication to seek other people out to play professionally. I organized 2 or 3 times with different groups, but nobody was ever there, Nobody could commit to the time slot each week.
Mm-hmm.
And so I hopped back into Dota after not playing for 8 months or so. I was like, yeah, I'm going to have all of my senses of how to play this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, you're right, Anifix. That is kind of scary. Darman with a pilot license? Oh, no, we can't let him up in the air. But so I hop in, and I'm like, all right, I'll pick something easy. I'm just going to go AoE damage. Just going to play Kunkka, go damage. Going to have fun. And, of course, they pick a really powerful carry mid, the Clinks. And so I got no XP. I got no gold. I got bullied out of lane. It was awful. So then I picked Bloodseeker. I'm like, okay, when in doubt, go back to what you've played the most. I played over 200 games with Bloodseeker. So about a good 800 hours almost was probably spent with Bloodseeker, because I could stall a game out to 2 hours long if I felt like it. And that went horribly. So, of course, I pick a ultra tank, and from there, I was able to stay alive long enough for everybody else to finish the game.
Wow.
So, probably should have picked something a little bit more better paced rather than the speed of Dota.
It's all good, man. You had fun, which is the important
I
part,
did
right?
have fun.
Yeah, that's the important part.
Exactly.
You couldn't tell with the concerned look on my face half the time, but yeah, I had a blast.
If you're having fun, people can tell and they'll stick around.
Yeah.
Oh man, I really wish that the rest of you guys and Jimmy and everyone were into MOBAs, because honestly, it's really fun. Even if everybody's bad, you can have fun with it.
I mean, I've well, not anymore, but like I used to play what was it? Smite.
Smite was a lot of fun.
And that was on my Xbox, so that wasn't on like my computer. So
Right.
it was very difficult to, which doesn't translate to quite the same thing. Because I just have a laptop. It's very hard to play a lot of those games with the smaller.
But Smite works well on console because it's a third person, like over the shoulder
Yeah,
kind of thing. So
yeah, exactly.
you don't have all the key bindings that you do with the mouse and keyboard. You can drop all your cooldowns real quick or something. But whatever. So we're supposed to be talking about Portal.
Portal.
Portal's a very simple first-person puzzle game. It was developed and published by Valve, and it's all about the physics. Man, as I learned this weekend, it's the physics in this game are kind of crazy, but really, really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're brain bending. I don't know if you watched the small bit that Patty and I played Portal 2 in the co-op, and we went through several of the stages together, and I just had a blast going in circles, like just falling infinite times. Just you can get yourself locked in an infinite loop.
It's fun. You just do that.
The physics, yes, are what make the game. Fun fact: during high school physics, we were given an assignment to find a video game that exemplified good physics, and I knew which game I was going to pick for Gravity. If you use interdimensional portals, things move like this, and you can build your own parabola and draw lines and arcs and all this. Oh man!
Oh, it's
kind of amazing.
It really is.
We had a team of 4 people break down the game's code and look at some of the different modifiers and how they actually use 9.8. What is it? 9.8 meters per second. Yeah. It's actually relative to everything in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So the developers put in so much time. Fun fact, Portal actually started as a fan project, and then Valve caught wind of it and snatched it up.
Yeah, because it's built in Source, right?
It was built in Source. The Source 2.
Source 2, yes.
Which is the same engine for most of Valve's offerings of the local IP. Between Team Fortress 2, the Half-Life series, and the Half-Life spin-offs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fantastic engine. If anybody is interested in getting their hands dirty in simple game design, open up Hammer and have fun.
Yeah.
The Source engine is so malleable. You can make RPGs with it. You can make shooters with it. You can do so much.
It's really, really well designed, and I'm glad Valve put in the time and the effort to make it and make it available so easy for people. So,
open source and free market.
Yes.
Bless those red-blooded Americans.
This particular game, Portal, was developed or designed by Kim Swift. Who is this person?
I wasn't sure. I had not heard of her, so like I don't know.
It
Portal
was
was
not a
created-
large team at all that
Oh,
made the
wow,
original
she's
Portal.
my age. Yeah. I mean, she's a video game designer. She works for Valve. Made Portal. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
The story was written. Nolan, you want to take the next couple names?
Sure. There we go. Find the right tab. All right. It was written by Eric Wolpa. I think that's it. And Chet Falizek.
And Josh, you want to take the composers?
I was actually I probably should have done this before, but I'm actually on Wikipedia. I'm trying to just like absorb all of this
We put
information.
everything in the show notes for you.
Well, yeah, that's one way of cheating, but it doesn't really give me a whole lot of information.
You get all the information anyway, so like it's all the same stuff. It's just
the composers were made up of Kelly Bailey and Mike Moraski, who did most of the soundtrack, and then the song at the end was developed by Jonathan Colton.
Yes, and
it's not in the notes here, but that's
my
contribution of trivia.
So yeah, this was released for Windows and the Xbox 360 in North America on October 9th, 2007, in Europe on October 18th, 2007, and in Australia on October 25th, 2007, as part of the Orange Box collection, which contained 2 other gems, Half-Life 2, and both episodes 1 and 2, and Team Fortress 2, because Valve can't count to 3.
It's not possible.
Yeah, not possible.
But except they put 3 games in 1 box, so I don't know.
That's 2 plus 1.
Gets 1.
Yeah,
it's 2 plus 1. That's all.
Yeah, it's 2 plus 1. It's not 3.
It's not 3. It's 2 plus 1.
But yeah, it was eventually ported to the PlayStation 3. It released on that platform in Australia on November 22nd, 2007. In Europe on November 23rd, 2007. So the next day, even though they're closer in time than we are, whatever. And then North America, December 11th, 2007. So it was only about a month later, not even 2 months later, it came to the PS3. And then almost 3 months. About 2 months for North America. That's weird. Anyway, made its way to Mac worldwide on May 12th, 2010. Linux May 2nd, 2013, and Android operating systems May 12th, 2014. Probably the worst version.
I do have to note though, the Android version it's not terrible. And here's why. Because, fun fact, the Android version is not really technically, you can't really say that it was Android. It's more of a NVIDIA platform. The Portal for Android was developed to run on the high-end NVIDIA Shield tablets and the Shield Android TV, and it works. The game did not change. I'm sorry,
the Nintendo Switch.
I mean, realistically, yeah, I could see it being ported on. Oh my gosh, I want it ported on there for the Mo controls.
That. Yeah, like I
need this.
Fantastic.
Motion.
You know what I don't need? I don't need it ported for Oculus.
Oh,
I don't want to throw up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you want to throw up?
I mean,
that's a good way.
Walking in VR is already disorienting. That's why you blink in most games.
Yeah. So. Actually, that would be a lot of fun.
No.
The motion's like, here, let's just jump in the hole.
Did you ever see that video of the guy who had a panic attack because his friend knocked him over while he was watching a roller coaster in VR?
Yep.
I haven't seen that.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
It's hilarious and kind of scary at the same time because the guy is genuinely having a panic attack.
No, he's freaking out.
Yeah, he's got the headphones on that are isolated. He's wearing the headset, and he's riding the ride, and his friend like pushes him. And he just goes into full-on panic mode. He's like flailing on the ground, and like the guy running the station This is when Oculus was still in beta. Like the guy running the station is like trying to like pull the headset off of him and like calm him down, and like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's about as interesting as the guy who had a heart attack watching Pacific Rim.
What?
What?
Yeah, it was Pacific Rim. There was a movie in the last 5 years that was so action packed that somebody had a seizure or a heart attack.
Look, I started getting like really anxious at the end of Rogue One, because when Darth Vader showed up, like my heart was literally pounding in my chest. Like
Yeah, that was
super intense.
very anxiety inducing.
Yes, like I was just like, oh my gosh, it's like super scary Darth Vader. Like he's never been more scary. And like, yeah.
I mean, he's never been depicted like this.
Yeah. So
even in the original trilogy, he was just this very tall, luminous figure.
But never like genuinely violently scary.
You weren't afraid for your life when you saw him. Yeah, the characters kind of showed that, but nobody had that same sense of urgency to get away. And that was one of the reasons why I think Rogue One is still one of the best of the Star Wars films.
Top 3 for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I said that because I've never quite gotten there, but I have definitely experienced high emotion at the movie theater. Yeah.
But coming back to Portal, it was definitely a game changer. It definitely had a huge impact and influence on the realm of video games and what you can do with a narrative. For those of you that don't know and have not played the game, to put it in short form, a summary of the game, you are a test subject that has been pulled out of cryosleep in an abandoned facility. The only thing that exists is you and an AI that guides you through a series of tests using, wouldn't you know, portals. And you have to finagle your way through multiple puzzles and summarily end your adventure in a standoff with the AI. That is the shortest summary.
She tries to kill you, so you have to kill her.
That's not succinct. Come on, we can phrase that better.
She puts you in an oven, man.
I mean, she did promise cake. She didn't say what kind.
She didn't say that you were going to be the cake.
That's a twist.
Yeah.
Human cakes. Get your fresh Cronenberg cake.
Yeah. So, how would you describe the art style of Portal?
Sterile. Sterile is a good place to start.
I would say industrial.
It's very industrial, especially towards the end.
Start. It's like a very clean, like hospital almost, test facility.
Yes.
But as the facade breaks down, you start wandering your way through this industrial building. And
it's definitely the art style is very much reminiscent of Valve and the more sort of bubbly shapes, if you will.
That makes sense.
Everything has a very nice gloss finish to it until you get further on. Yeah. The textures are very well definitive of every shape that you come across, but they still almost a sort of hyper-realism.
Yeah, they were definitely going for hyper-realism, and this was, 10 years ago, so obviously hyper-realism is a lot better today. Which, by the way, this is the newest game we've done on the podcast. Since our rules have changed for what classifies as a classic game. I could have said that better.
What are we calling as a classic game?
10 years old.
So it's 10 years or older now, because we used to go 2 console generations back, but then with the mid-console update of the Switch, PS4 Pro, and Xbox One X, we decided to change the rules a little because the video game industry is changing.
So for those of you that haven't looked at Portal, this is a still from one of the test chambers. And you can see everything is very well defined. You definitely get that industrial feel. And this is with full textures and everything on the highest end. Again, this game was made between 2005 and 2007. Release in 2007. So you can see the sci-fi feels to it. These red buttons that you stand on are all part of a puzzle. And it's very clear. The lines, once you see them, cohere as to where you're supposed to advance through the puzzle. But you have to wrap your head around what is a three-dimensional space. And that is what Portal challenged, was how can we move in a three-dimensional space, which brought on a huge onslaught of videos of people doing community test simulations, basically trial tracks where almost like the original Mario Maker, where you would have these impossible feats of gravity-defying nonsense. I never got into those. However, they do exist.
I really don't like some of those Mario Maker levels. I love Super Mario World.
Portal and the Source engine helped make that possible. And it made Valve and many developers realize that if we can give players the tools to become creators, they can help extend the longevity of a game by 3-4 years. To this day, Portal is still talked about in game development classes throughout the country, throughout the world, as how revolutionary it was and the way that Valve handled it in its IP distribution.
Yeah, and I know like the Portal 2 community is still really active in making maps.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. They make the multiplayer maps for the co-op challenges, and they are phenomenal. You think some of those Mario Maker maps are bad? Oh, you have to get your speed, your arc just right. If you place that portal off by a fraction, you miss. And it's just as bad as counting frames in Mario Maker.
Oh gosh, I hate frame perfect stuff, or pixel perfect, or any of that.
Yeah,
nonsense.
pixel perfect. Yeah, is accurate.
Yeah, one of my favorite YouTubers is the guy that almost exclusively plays ROM hacks, Super Mario World ROM hacks, and some of the pixel perfect stuff that he has to do in those games is ridiculous. And oh gosh. Like I enjoy watching other people do it, but I would never do that myself. I just want to play a good game.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, I'm not here to prove myself. I'm not here to become a perfectionist. I'm here to right. Everybody the main things that everybody plays a game for is for a light medium challenge, hard challenge for the Dark Soul fanatics. Look at you, Nolan. But there comes a point, and I realized this, especially with one of our friends, Lucius Hall, playing Cat Mario last year for a light stream. The poor guy. The game is fantastic. Abusive.
It is.
In its traps and its places. Like, anything that makes sense doesn't.
If you've never played Cat Mario, you need to look it up or play it yourself, or you've probably heard of I Want to Be the Guy, because it's in that same vein.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, I haven't even played Cat Mario before. I've seen people play it, obviously, and I know about it, but I have never actually played it.
See, I'm waiting because the levels and the patterns are still too fresh in my mind. That's part of why it was difficult for me to pick a game for Extra Life, because I have so many games that I've played through, and if I went back and I played one, I would know how to get through all the stuff. So it's one of those, I'm waiting for it to get out of backup memory, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, for me,
I
that's
totally
kind of I can go either way on that. Like, I like playing new games because I haven't played it, and it's got that. But at the same time, it's like if I have played it, then I'm usually a little better at it, so it's a little more entertaining to watch rather than just me getting stuck or getting lost on something. Which I got lost playing Doom. Like, honestly, like I'm like, where am I supposed to be at? Like, which is really sad when you think about that. But
well, at the same, I mean, the new Doom was very expansive with the huge maps. It was easy to get lost. I wouldn't say that's anything to be embarrassed over, because they made you look for those keys.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's
Now-
like just
Now, okay, so let's move on to the next. The sound design of Portal, like, is top notch. Like that, the
Iconic.
voice of GLaDOS is like the perfect pitch of like creepy and yet informative.
yeah,
like you almost think that she's trying to help you, but it's so unsettling, the things she says.
Yeah, I believe
Literally.
the lady, her name is Ellen McLean.
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I know it's Ellen something, and she was such a fantastic. She honestly,
The camera's off again.
oh, did it? Oh,
Ellen
that's
McLean.
weird. It is Ellen McLean.
Yeah.
So, tying into the story, I feel like you can't talk about the sound design without talking about the story at the same time and the characters, because everything has to tie in so well. The sound design fits in with the graphic environment. Anything that moves in the way that you would expect it to, and it produces the sound.
Yeah.
When you push a metal cube across the floor, it grates and grinds. I believe there's 15 different sound articles used at random generation, which one it plays, based on how fast you hit it, how slow you hit it. If you're going to grind it, it has a grinding noise. There's so much cool stuff.
It changes depending on the surface also that you're hitting, and those things.
Yeah.
Like
between surfaces and whether or not it travels through a portal. Portals, even. The portals that project, coming back to my image. Oh, no, that's not actually a good image. Let me find. Is there a GIF? I wonder.
Yeah, but they
without
really
seeing
went
it-
out of their way to make it sound good. And as an aspiring sound engineer, like, I never once thought, oh, that doesn't sound right. Like, everything was exactly how I would have imagined it to sound in real life.
If you haven't seen the portals fire, it's almost like a liquid plasma, and it kind of bloops, like something sort of like that, with a little bit more of a substance behind it. But it looks like it sounds, and the game. It was so immersive between the sound design, the AI guiding you, but at the same time deriding you throughout your adventure, that you were to be discarded at the end. All of a sudden you meet flames, and here you hear the crackling flames. You feel like you're there. You were drawn into it. Man, this game was just so good. There's a reason why it's so critically acclaimed. Even though it was a very short game, the design and the sound development that went into it, and the writing that propelled you through it, because it was so quick. Unless you can't think in a three-dimensional space, in which case you went and you found your tutorial how to get through that specific test, and you moved on with your life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's talk about music for a minute.
Oh,
The music in this game is very ambient until you get to the final boss. There's only the one boss. But
it's a lot of chip tunes.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Um,
for the audio version of this podcast, we try to pick an opening and a closing song. And
Yeah.
excuse me, this was Patrick's game. And he was like, I don't even know what song to pick for the intro. Like, just do Still Alive again. And I was like, no. So I found the OST and I was like, we're going to do that one instead. But like, yeah, which we'll talk about later. But like, the songs are all very ambient and, like you said, chiptune, and like just kind of getting you in the mood to like solve puzzles or to like move you through the industrial complex. And definitely just helps fill in those empty spaces when there's not a lot of sound effects going on. So and if I mean, some people would argue, if the best thing you can say about the music is that it's ambient, then you didn't do your job right. But I think that doesn't really apply to this game. It's supposed to be ambient. It's a puzzle game.
It definitely lent to the atmosphere.
Yes.
Having an ambient sound is not bad by default.
No.
Ambient music is done right when it helps you immerse yourself in the experience. And we can see cases of that throughout many different games, throughout Kirby, Mario, many of the iconic games, such as Halo. The droning choir really lent to the mystery of what's hidden on the ring. So if it's ambient but propels the story or brings you into it, I think you've done your job as a music engineer.
Yeah, definitely. So,
there's a train somewhere.
What would you think?
There's a train outside my house.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
can't hear it. But
sorry.
What would you? What do you think are some outside influences for all of these things we've discussed?
I mean, I don't know, man. It's like it's kind of its own thing. I don't really.
Okay, I would say that the GLaDOS is the idea is almost based on the HAL 9000 from 2001.
I could agree with that.
Like this computer
rogue AI
that like suddenly turns malevolent and like wants to kill you, but like isn't trying super hard to kill you. Just kind of wants you dead. Wants to see what it would be like to kill a human being.
Before I go into my answer, did you find the secret areas?
I found a couple.
Yeah,
but I knew I had a limited time to finish the game because I was, so I needed to get through, and I did get stuck on quite a few puzzles. So like I wasn't really going out of my way to find them.
So I definitely believe.
Like, there it is.
Right, yeah. They were always hidden in cheeky places, and I definitely think that Skynet was a solid influence on the design of GLaDOS, and this is revealed through the secret areas with the Rat Man, where he, if you followed Portal 2, yeah, there was a comic released that further broke down what actually happened and brought about GLaDOS in her majesty of being an AI. As it turns out, well, I can't share that because that should be saved for the Portal 2 talk here in 7 years.
Yeah, it'll be about 7 years before we can get to it.
Oh yeah, by the 10-year
right after Dark Souls.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do Demon Souls before we do Dark Souls, though. We have to.
Yeah.
But
but
we
then
also
that's
do other Mega Man games, I'm thinking.
Oh man. Let's talk. Boy, when we talk about Mega Man Battle Network, you know who to call.
For sure.
Yeah, because I'll step out for that one because I really have no interest in those games.
I played the first one. That's about it.
It's too RPG for me.
Too RPG.
Yeah. Well, it's
very it's very RPG-esque. Well, there's
the
battle aspect, like whoop, here's your level, and
Yeah,
they're on this side, you're on this side.
I enjoyed the tactical stage.
No,
It's enjoyable.
Mega Man is run and gun for me. Like I can't do it.
So we were talking about the sound design and
Well,
the story.
We're just talking about presentation in general. We tend to mash up these two segments of presentation and impact when we're talking about art and sound and music and all that stuff.
It definitely. I think the biggest thing that helped drive Portal was its viralness. Its viral value, because you had a very quirky AI that says the most smart-lipped comments you could think of in very derogatory and almost derisive tones. Could you imagine just somebody talking to you like this for hours and then calling you a moron?
Get pretty annoying.
It would get pretty annoying, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But then she tells you there's cake at the end, so you're okay.
Literally. It's like, oh, there's cake. Okay, it's fine.
You're doing science a good work. We're back with the radio voice that Joel really does not enjoy.
Nope. Yeah, this was one of those first like viral video games.
The cake is a lie. Still echoes in the minds of the old memers, if you will. I don't like this new generation of memes, but that's a whole different topic for a
different
what this
podcast is about.
That's it. Yeah,
that's the original memers podcast.
No,
Diamond here, reporting on the 2007 meme war.
That's not.
That's not. It goes to very dark places.
Like, if you go to Steam and you find Portal and you look at games that are influenced by Portal, I'm just curious actually to know the exact number, but like you will find a couple hundred other games that are first-person puzzle games or that are physics-based puzzle games. And these were things that didn't really exist before 2007. Like there might have been one or two, but
most notably among those was The Ball, which was set in a sort of Mayan temple with sort of the same physics ideas as Portal, using generated objects in your environment to hold levers down, and ball mechanics as opposed to Portal mechanics. And it's funny you mentioned that, because with the oncoming release of Portal 2, there was a bundle called the Potato Sack Bundle, which was all source games that were inspired or had something to do with the upcoming Portal 2 release. And many of the games in that bundle, let me look it up, because there's a lot of games that you might recognize. Potato Sack Bundle.
Yeah.
News, the Potato Sack Pack. It was a collection of indie games, a lot of different puzzles. Most notably, you have Audio Surf, you have Amnesia: The Dark Descent, Killing Floor, The Ball, and The Wonderful End of the World. 1, 2, 3, Kick It. Reckless Disregard for Gravity. Bit Trip. Rush. Super Meat Boy was even included in this bundle. Wow. So there's a lot of different games that inspired and was inspired by Portal. This specific bundle was released on April 1st of 2011, and it was the first of many different VR, what do you call it, Easter eggs, if you will, leading up to the Portal 2 release. There was a whole game that Valve was playing with the whole user base, trying to keep Portal 2 secret and hidden. I distinctly remember those times in high school, trying to figure out, okay, is this related? It's almost like, is this a JoJo's reference?
Oh gosh, yeah.
It was like that, but for Portal, you know.
Yep.
So just Portal rocked the world of how to tell a story well with a game with just as high quality gameplay. And I think that's really, if you had to boil everything down, Portal is that important to the history of video games and even software development.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like it was so popular. I'm sure there were plenty of like young gamers who were thinking about designing video games, and it comes with the SDK. Like, so you just design your own things, and inspired them to become a game designer.
Actually, one of my friends in high school went on. He works at Valve now as a professional modeler because of his contributions to the community between Team Fortress 2 and Portal. He built several solid maps, very well designed, and he built hats. He eventually went on to make models and different skins for the Dota 2 characters. He was at 16. He was making $33K annually. He bought his Alienware computer and everything. I don't know if I'm still friends with him on Facebook, but probably not.
So, bit of real world impact there, yeah. For
absolutely. There's just so it created so many opportunities. It's just so good. It's so good. I could sit here and cry about how good Portal is if I took the time to think about its impact.
Yeah. So I mean, just could you share something a little more personal?
So I was always behind the curve of picking up games when they were popular. I waited until Portal. I got Portal actually from the tested. There was a promotional done in concordance with, or conjunction is the word I'm looking for, with a whole bunch of schools, and they made Portal free for 3 days. Everybody on Steam could get a copy of it, and there was a follow-along tutorial on how to build a map in Hammer. I wasn't as concerned about that. I was like, hey, it's a free game. And so I got all of my friends to download it, and we had a blast going through trying to figure out the puzzles sitting in my friend's basement. I was definitely one of the last ones to get through it all, but it was one of those kind of a bonding thing that everybody finally had it and we could get together and play it. I had the biggest struggle with the 7th chamber, I think, because you have to go up 3 platforms, and if you didn't time your portals right, you weren't going to make it.
Oh, and you got to do the, yeah,
and you have to go. It's one constant stream of motion, and if you didn't have your mouse sensitivity set high enough, you're
yeah.
Back when computers were still very fickle, you couldn't change that very easily.
Yeah.
Gotta love the PC Master Race. Anyway,
we figured it out.
Yeah.
That's why we're the master.
Nolan, how's this game impacted you personally?
So I am not a PC gamer. I can say that. I did not grow up playing games.
I'm not really either. I just happen to enjoy a few PC games.
And that's it. It's like literally because, yeah. So when I finally got my own computer, though, like in the tail end of high school for me, one of the first things was like I got Steam just because I'm like, oh yeah, I got a computer now. I can play games. So I got that. And the first thing I bought, and I checked this like when Patrick picked the game, I'm like, I think it was the first thing I bought when I got Steam was Portal. because I had seen other people do it, and it looked really cool, you know. So I go and play it, and it's a lot of fun because I like kind of like puzzles and stuff like that. And I mean, none of them were too difficult. I think the second to last one, it took me a little while. Like you're in that room, you got to do. It's that huge one. You know what I mean. If you've played it, you know what. Yeah.
That one that I was stuck on for a long time.
Yeah, that one. Actually, yeah, that one exactly.
Yeah.
And then
Gosh.
I had an issue with the last one. It's a very simple thing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to put a portal at the end of that little tiny crawl space and a portal somewhere else. And I couldn't get it to work. I don't know if I was just if it was me not being able to understand that's what I had to do, or if it was glitching out because I couldn't get it to work. So I took like the chairs that are right there, and I had like 5 chairs, and I like crouch jump, and I have to like crouch jump like this gap to get in there, and it took me like an hour to do it, and I finally got in there, and I realized that, you know, oh wait, no, I'm just supposed to shoot in the side here, and then I'm fine. But like, it's just like literally making the hardest possible thing because I saw someone do it. It's like,
it. Yeah,
and I do that a lot.
Yeah, I did that. But I thankfully the chat helped me when I started overthinking things. They're like, no, look up, or go around, go back to the fan, or stuff like that. You know, I did jump on Jenny a little bit when she was like trying to tell me how to solve a puzzle. I was like, please no backseat gaming.
Yeah, I was there for that one.
I really don't like backseat gaming. Like, I don't care if I'm like really struggling and you give me a hint, but like if you tell me exactly what to do, like, oh my gosh,
that's not a lot.
Anifix has a question in the live chat. Did any of us play the Flash version of Portal? I played.
I didn't know
there have been several iterations of Flash Portal. I played the Mario Portal with several friends, and it was so much fun.
I heard about this.
Yes, it was you had to install your own native client and everything, because you couldn't play it in the web browser because
it actually
too many key presses.
Really well.
It did, and it was great because you could mess with your friends and drop them in pits. It was so much fun.
Oh gosh.
What in the world? Oh my gosh! I'm looking
about that until you mentioned it just now.
We need to stream it.
I'm looking at this right now. I'm like, wow.
Hold on. Wait, could you play that over the net? Hold on. Mario Portal.
Well, I mean the Flash one. I'm like, huh.
Anyway.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
So was that your story, Nolan?
Yeah, it was literally like me I'm overthinking it and having to jump on chairs.
The personal impact this has had on me is this was the first Steam game I ever bought also. But I actually bought a physical copy of the Orange Box. I think I said this last podcast. Not knowing that even if you had the physical copy, you still needed to download Steam. So
yeah,
it didn't do me any good to have the physical, but I've got it somewhere in a box, and I totally forgot to pull it out to show everybody that I have a physical copy of the PC version of the Orange Box. But yeah, and it was one of the first games that I installed, and it just kind of sat there, and I never played it. And apparently, when I booted it up, I guess my nephew played it for a bit because I had 79 minutes on record. I was like, I'm pretty sure I didn't let it sit for an hour and a half doing nothing. So yeah, yeah, I played through this game just yesterday for the first time, and I had a blast, and I really want to go back and finish.
You should do that as soon as we're done with this. Just
I kind of have a volleyball game to get to, so I don't know if I will.
I keep forgetting there's like a 3-hour time difference between us.
It's
yeah. It's like 6 o'clock
here. The sun just barely set, like, especially with the time change.
Yeah, oh, man, it's been dark here since like 4:30.
Yeah, it's
awful.
Sunset an hour ago.
Yeah,
so it's dark now, but yeah. But yeah, where was I going with this?
places.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this game, and I'm sorry that I waited 10 years to play it because I heard about it 10 years ago. A friend of mine had the first iPhone 3G, and so I guess it wasn't the first iPhone, but back when the 3G was new.
Yeah.
And like he had heard that you could crack it, and so he did, and installed a portal pack on it, and so all of his different text tones, and this is before you could personalize iPhones, so all of his different text tones and everything were different sounds made by GLaDOS and the turrets. So like, "Are you still there?" is like burned in my memory from this guy, and it's just or like gosh, just the weird, creepy things.
Oh.
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, oh.
Yeah.
Just
like all
the
those
little
things.
cries that
Or
the little turrets make. They're so cute, but deadly.
my favorite line by GLaDOS is, the Enrichment Center would like to remind you that the incoming weighted companion cube will not stab you and, in fact, cannot speak. Or something like that. And, like, that was one of the text tones that... Do you know the exact line?
Yeah, and I know the reason behind it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
really.
The lore is really messed up in this game.
There's
Yeah.
people in there.
I know.
There's a person in that companion cube. It's the only one with the heart on it for that reason.
Yeah.
You incinerated your buddy. But,
You incinerated the guy that saved you.
Tiny Box Tim.
The rat man.
I mean, the box is definitely big enough to fit a human body in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why. And that was a huge point of contention in the community for years. Like, what is with this companion cube? What is it really? And then they came out and made the comic, and they confirmed that it was a person inside there. The same guy that wrote all the secret areas.
Yeah.
About explaining, like, she's trying to kill you, get out.
And she trapped him and had you kill him.
Yeah.
I mean, he was really mostly already dead inside. So
Yeah. No,
He was Schrodinger's
he was
rat.
justified as a mercy killing.
yeah. It reminds me, I actually was on Facebook the other day going through Plato memes and Socrates memes. There's a tie-in here.
Okay.
And so we go on. I to die and you to live. Which one is better? God only knows.
Yes, that famous painting where he's holding the cup aloft.
Oh, right.
He's about to drink the poison.
Check.
Yep.
Anyway,
That's a cool glass with a mustache on it.
yeah,
Like
this
that.
was given
That's
to me
cute.
by my ex-girlfriend's friend. As a
Ex-girlfriend.
Hanukkah gift.
Okay.
I'm not Jewish. We just decided to celebrate Hanukkah that year.
That's awesome.
Anyway, so we've talked about pretty much the entire game. So this is the part of the show where we try and guess the Metacritic score. Normally Patrick would know the score and we would try and guess it, but Patrick's not here, so I kind of took over. So I know the Metacritic score and you two need to guess it, and this is Price is Right style. We're going to start off with our guest. So let me go back a sec. Price is Right style. Closest without going over. If you go over, you're out. If you both go over, you try again. So, and this is out of 100. For those of you who don't know how Metacritic scores things.
Now, is this on release or current Metacritic score?
This is the current Metacritic score.
Yeah.
So let me just confirm, because I did see it on the Steam store, but I just want to confirm. You're not allowed to look it up.
Yeah.
You can see me trying really hard not to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that it's 88. I would put it higher, but 88 is my answer.
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
I don't really want to go much higher than that. 89. I'll be that guy.
Okay. Well, I think Nolan wins because it's listed at 90.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I'm like, I don't want to go really high because I don't think.
Yeah. So that's the
Like,
PC
okay.
version, by the way.
That's the current.
That's the current Metacritic score.
Was there a Metacritic score for release? I don't know if it goes back that far or if they
I don't
time
know if you
capture.
can filter it like that.
I don't know if it does.
Based on 27 critics, they usually all come out right away. Very rarely do people on Metacritic actually have their scores released later.
So it probably is pretty close to like at the
By
time.
date. Of course, IGN gave it an 82.
Yeah, because users gave it a 9.2.
Yeah, it's weird like that. The critics are actually out of 100, but the users are out of 10. I don't get it. Just
it's essentially the same.
It's the same thing when you have like point something. Then it's like, well.
Anyway, yeah. So the IGN review came out 2 days after release.
It'd be interesting to see
on release
current game reviewers go back.
So the latest critic review was by Adventure Gamers. They gave it a 90, and if the page would load, I would be able to tell you when the publication date was, and it is May 12th, 2008. So these are pretty much all the
within the
pro critics were like within a year of the initial release.
Wow.
Okay.
I wonder how I'll say it again. I'm curious how current critics would look at it.
Yeah.
It'd probably be higher, I imagine. I mean,
I don't know, because I know a lot of people. Oh, hold up. I'm scrolling through a list. 2009. This is a user list.
Yeah. No, I went by critic score by date, and I'm assuming they're listing them from oldest to newest. And the one at the bottom was the one by Adventure Gamers. Lowest in the critics list looks to be an 82 by IGN. Yep.
80.
Wow.
80 by Ace Games.
Who's that?
Never heard of them. There's also a group
80
called
by Ace Games. Okay.
There's another one called Four Fat Chicks. They gave it 100. Yeah.
Armchair.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Wow. I mean, I'm glad to see that critics at the time realized its potential just as much as everybody else did.
Yeah.
They got it right. So, all right. Well, congratulations, Nolan. You get no prize. So
you get a round
of
applause.
It's about the same as when I got the number on the dot for something.
Oh yeah, you got it on the dot, and I'm pretty sure that was Patrick wasn't here for that.
It was no, I think he was there.
Was he?
Because I think it was his game.
We tend to do better when he's not here.
Yeah, we really do.
Funny that.
Yeah. Anyway, so I guess it's my turn to pick a game, and like usual, I forgot to pick a game. So you guys just talk about things for a minute.
So we should totally have several things happen. Number one, we all need to go through and play the Mega Man Battle Network games. Number two, we should have a Portal night. I'm trying to install the Mario Portal right now.
Right now?
Yeah, because it's just a WinZip file. I'm trying to see if there's network play.
Yeah.
Extract. Because it supported multiple players. It opens up with GLaDOS's. Okay, so how? Looks like you can only add players local. But it does support multiple controllers. Oh, man. I'm going to have to remember this the next time we have a get-together. Either at Jimmy's or at somebody's place.
That game's too new. Okay.
I'd be down.
It's a really good game.
Here, let me share this with you. Can I make this
Ooh, how
full
old
screen?
is that game?
Probably.
Hold on. Take a look at this.
Oh, it's not old enough.
This is the thing that I've been talking about, and I'm going to make this the thing that everybody sees. So you can go through, you can choose different hats. There's a cat in a hat to help differentiate who's who. Super basic controls.
It is just.
So go down to one player.
Oh, man.
That's not the button I wanted. Did I press space?
Thank you, Patrick, for changing the rules.
How do I? Oh, there we go. There we go. Do you guys hear the sound?
No.
No.
Ah.
Oh, I
playing
have
the,
seen this.
Yeah.
I
I
think
know
that-
exactly.
I have seen this. That's right.
Bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, 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 bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum,
Okay,
ba-dum,
so I've got a
ba-dum.
game.
You got a game?
Welcome
Okay.
to 20 Questions, the part of the show where I pick a game and these two guys have 20 questions, 20 yes or no questions to try and figure out what the game is. So this is just for fun, because if they don't get it in 20 questions, I still reveal the game and we still play it and discuss it in 2 weeks.
Exactly.
So never thought about like consequences of losing the game until just now. We've been playing this.
We should
for a
make
year
those
now.
consequences. Donate $5 to Extra Life.
Mm.
All right.
I
That's
would lose so
personal.
much money.
So, we're gonna start with our guest. We usually go in order of like who picks the game. The order is Patrick, me, Nolan. I think. Yeah, because Patrick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But we're gonna alternate between Josh and Nolan. So,
Works for
Josh,
me.
you get the first question.
Was it published under Nintendo?
Yes,
Okay.
you know me too well.
I mean, it's
let's
always
see.
a good start.
Yeah. Let's see.
Nolan likes to ask super weird questions.
I do, and sometimes it's actually useful. Is the funny
Sometimes.
part?
it's
Sometimes it's
red
super
herring, too.
totally always useful. Okay, so it's Nintendo. So in this game, I've used this one before. Do you play as some kind of anthropomorphic animal that can shoot things?
That's so oddly specific. You can't make it that.
It worked
specific.
once,
No.
and it took like
No.
5 questions.
This
So it
is
was like,
too specific. Is anthropomorphic animal that shoots things.
yes.
I'm trying to think of a Nintendo character that's like that.
I feel like there's one, but actually, you know what? That's not Nintendo, so that doesn't. Never mind.
I mean,
Like
yeah,
Ratchet, I'm like wait,
Ratchet from Ratchet and Clank is an anthropomorphic animal that
Nintendo.
shoots things.
Oh
But
yeah.
that's not
Okay, that's.
Anyway,
That'll
Why
work
did you
really
even
well.
bother asking
Gotcha.
if you knew if it was Nintendo?
I forgot, and it's a joke thing that I just do.
yeah, his questions
So.
are usually just throwaway.
Yeah, the first one's
First one.
usually a throwaway.
Is it in the action genre? Let me rephrase that. Is it a side scroller?
No.
Okay, that narrows down a lot.
Was this game released prior to January 1st, 2000?
Prior. No.
Okay.
So it's between 2000 and 2007.
Yeah,
Was that your question?
That is not my question. I'm confirming that
that was a statement.
that's a statement. Yeah.
That's a statement.
I could have been super mean and just been like, no, Nolan, what's your question? Yeah. Wait.
So no, it's on me. I think.
Yes, it's on you.
Is it puzzle oriented?
That's not the main mechanic. So no. There definitely are puzzles in this, but that's not the main mechanic.
Okay, so I think I actually know
Anifix.
what
It
this
can't be
is.
Star Fox because there are no anthropomorphic shooting animals.
That's what it would be. Star Fox Assault.
Oh,
No.
okay. Sorry, I don't think of flying in a spaceship and shooting things like as an animal
Assault.
shooting things, but it is technically. You are yes.
Yeah, Assault. Oh my gosh, I have to go get a copy of Assault. That game was so good.
No.
So, quick side thing. I was going through like video games released in 2000 for what I was going to pick. And I think I may have found what Joel's is. I'm not entirely sure based on certain things.
Let's try and narrow it down.
Do you play in space?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I know what this is.
Was it on GameCube?
No.
Yes. Well, oh no, I'm sorry. Ha, no, it was not.
Okay, so that narrows down the time frame even more.
It does. In fact, I believe this game came out in 2007. That's not my question.
2007. That would be outside of the time frame.
Nah, 10 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Is this in
next
fact
question.
Super Mario Galaxy?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Oh,
what we can say is the 10-year North
Yeah.
American release anniversary.
So I was scrolling through, I see November 12th, Super Mario Galaxy. I'm like,
Yeah.
I know what he
So,
picked.
We're gonna reconvene in 2 weeks with Patrick here, hopefully. And
Which
so we'll be
means
1
it
week
aligns.
late of the anniversary, which is fine.
Exactly. It's fine.
But yeah, so this game, so I picked Super Mario Galaxy because Super Mario Odyssey just came out and it's 10 years old next week in North America. It's technically already 10 years old in Japan.
how many questions did we get through?
What?
How many questions was that?
That was
it
my
8.
third question, I think.
That was your fourth question. It was 8.
Is it fourth?
Wow.
You got an 8.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty good. Because you had a really good opener, Josh.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right, because I asked for that. Yeah. That's
The
right.
first thing is always trying to figure out the publisher.
I try and narrow it down to like time frame and then go with like console and then like
Yeah.
because you can't just say a Nintendo console because like
There's too many.
even though there were 2 console generations before the NES, like nobody plays those games. So why pick them?
Well, I mean, whatever the Wario game is on the Virtual Boy is definitely a valid answer.
This is true, although
Mhm.
nobody bought a Virtual Boy. So
Man, how much does a Virtual Boy go for? Time to eBay.
A lot. More than you'd imagine, because
Yeah,
nobody wants them.
it's that whole supply and demand.
Hyper Fighting, which is Street Fighter for the Virtual Boy in box.
Hey, let's see.
$450. Nintendo Virtual Boy Red console, complete in box with 10 games, including Tetris. $545. You know what? That's actually not too bad. I was expecting more, actually,
Well,
because it's coming with 10 games, 10 cards.
Here's a used one. Comes with 1 game and the controller, no box. It's obviously Mario Tennis.
Get 6 free Duracell
$200.
batteries by registering this product. That's awesome.
Are you kidding me?
This thing needed batteries.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a portable, but it ended up being too heavy.
This might be worth taking a small loan out for,
Mm-hmm.
just to have it.
Don't go into debt to buy a video.
Yeah, not for a Virtual Boy.
Not worth it. All right, so I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Original Gamers podcast. Nolan, go ahead and no, Josh, you're our guest, so we should start with
What
you.
am I doing?
Go ahead and tell us where we can find you on the internet.
You can find me on Facebook. Follow send me a friend request. I need friends. It's Joshua Otte, Otte. Go ahead and find me, or you can search Darman213 for my. That's my nickname on Facebook. That is the #1 place to find me and my shenanigans.
Okay. Nolan, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me at Baseman214, Baseman21491, or Icy White Falcon on their Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. You can check out all of the Dark Souls thing I have on there. That's really funny.
D&D.
Yeah. What else? Steam on Xbox. It's various things. I mean, it's usually me. It's one of those three things. It's usually got my face.
Awesome.
Or some kind of approximation of my face.
So anywhere you can find me on the internet, you can find me under Obi-Wan Kenobi. The best places to look would be Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Nintendo PSN, and Steam. You can find our other host, Patrick, at facebook.com/Patrick Allen Ryan, on Twitter at Patrick Proper, or at Salty Luchadork, his alter ego that he rarely tweets with. That is very salty. Anyway, find him on Twitch at twitch.tv/hugecowpatty, crossforgegaming.com, which is our parent company of Original Gamers Podcast. We are the Original Gamers Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at officialogcast, on Twitch at twitch.tv/Original Gamers Podcast, and on Instagram under official.ogcast. We're always looking for other games to play, so you can go ahead and tweet at us. And for the audio version of this podcast, the intro song was Subject Name Here, which I think is a very good opening. I even included a link for Patty to find later. And of course, we're going to end this podcast with the classic Still Alive. So thanks for watching or listening, and be good humans.
Bye, everybody.
Sign out, Joe.
It is full.